Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm having an echo in my ears right now. What kind of shenanigans are in first store today? That's a great question, John. Give me 1 second because I need to fix this situation in my head. Okay, so theoretically now, I'm hoping you guys can still hear me. And hopefully all is well. Hey, Randall. Hey, respect is earned, not given. Hey, Dave P. Tim from FMR, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Carl from Bangachi Junction. Bernard, welcome. John, I'll answer your question in a second. And Ray, good morning, Track Gang. Kieran, Mr. Old Man J94 himself. Welcome, welcome. Oh, good. Okay, so you can hear me. There's an echo. Well, that's a bummer. How bad of an echo is it? Oh, some people are saying it's okay, and some people are saying there's an echo. Let's see. Audio. I got echo cancellation on. I got the mic set. I got my Bluetooth headset in. Oh, John. Oh, John, what am I going to do with you? See, you got me going crazy. Okay. Lol, just joking. I don't know why. So I've done these Friday morning things a couple times now, and it seems like every time. Am I now steppy? I think I'm steppy now. I think I have to stop recording. I think I have to stop that. Let's see if that helps. Am I still bouncing all around? It's not one thing, it's something else, right? Let me see if I can fix it. All right. So you can hear me, but I'm laggy. Of course I am, because, why should anything go easy? So give me 1 second. So if I do that, if I turn that off, preferences, video 30, okay, tools, start virtual camera. Okay, so let's see, OBS virtual camera. So let's see now if I move. Okay, so that's better. The question is, can you hear me now? OBS audio virtual. Okay, so I think we're okay now. So I'm using StreamYard. So anybody that wants to come say hello, I think I just posted the link. I'm going to try recording again. Let's see if it gets steppy. The dream is to build a new computer. Norm Miller. Welcome, Norm Miller. Hey, Digger, what's going on? Who else is here? Dave P. Okay, so I think we're okay. I think we got the movement. So the plan for today. So I've got a couple things set up. I got my overhead cam set up here. I got this box on my desk. Oh, now I sound like a Dalek. All right, let's stop recording. So that's a little bit of a bummer. All right, so is the sound better now? Hey, Al's from AJM Trains. Well, I'll probably have to record this twice then. We'll see. I don't know. Tell me if it's bad. So what I'm trying to do for today's video is I'm trying to do a video of myself setting up the Easy Street system from CMR Products. So I'm going to show kind of how I did it. I've got the stuff here on my bench, and then I've got another camera set up over on the side here on the module, and we'll kind of go through how to get from the piece of paper to the other stuff. So that's the goal. Let's see if I do that. Is that going to mess everything up too? All right. It's not the worst in the world. So let me get this out of the way. I posted the link. If people want to join, come join so we can chat. I'll add you in when you're not paying attention, just to kind of catch you off guard, to make everyone pay attention. How you doing, Dave?
Doing good.
What you doing in the fast lane?
Not much. Benchwork's gone.
Benchwork's done.
Gone.
Oh, gone. Oh, that's
Yep,
not.
I'm moving rooms. So the old benchwork's.
So same house but different.
Yes.
Different benchwork.
Different room.
Bad. That's not too bad.
Go into a bigger room.
Nice. Yeah, so if people want to join, if you've got your cameras and stuff set up, I would like to try and stick with the conversation of trains. I know we diverge some days, and we're all just here to have fun, but
Yeah.
we'll see. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Easy Streets, and the reason why I'm kind of doing this a little bit is CMR Products is one of my sponsors. They're the makers of Easy Streets, and I thought, they actually gave me these items so that I can check them out and so I can show them to people. But it's basically a styrofoam. What's never going to happen? Oh, Carl is saying that we're never going to stay on topic, which but basically they print street patterns onto styrene. And I'm going to sort of talk about the product a little bit and just sort of, I want to get the streets going on this guy. I need to start adding some scenery to some of my other pieces, and the first thing I want to do is add some streets. So that's it. So Dave, what room are you moving to? What's the general plan?
Well, our house is a 4-level, and right now I'm basically in the 3rd level, and the wife wants this room for guests coming. So she wants me in the 4th level down in the corner after the mechanical room and stuff. There's another bedroom. It's a little bit bigger than this one. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So that's not bad.
No.
But so is it a basement? Like, is it an unfinished basement or it's a finished?
No, it's finished basement.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I grew up with a finished basement, so.
Yeah, but to get to the room, you have to go past the furnace, the water heater.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Of course. Why would it be? Why would it be any different?
It's a little older, so it was addition on. That was the 4th bedroom was an addition on.
Speaking about trouble.
Blame Heath.
Speaking about somebody that should be in the basement.
How y'all doing?
John from Mystic Southern Railway says, "Watch out, Dave. She'll have you on the roof next."
No, probably out in the garage. Well, I'd like to be in there.
You'd rather be there, yeah. Some peace and quiet.
I'm building a new garage, so.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah. Are you building it for model railroading or just in general? And
just in general, but the roof I went with a 812 pitch, so it's kind of steep.
Steep, yeah.
But it's 20 feet wide by 36 feet deep.
Oh, you mentioned this the other day, I think. Yeah. So you could get your cars in and still have a workshop in the front or the back.
And then in the back. Then upstairs have a train.
That's awesome. Steve, what's happening with you? I see you're already blaming me, and I'm just getting started. I haven't even done anything yet.
It's just part of the ambiance,
Yeah, I understand.
My wife did come up with a good idea, though, Heath.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
She said, I've got my coffee mug my Blame Heath coffee mug and my shirt, but she says it's a Friday afternoon, and I really need like an insulated mug or glass for my cocktails.
Oh, so yeah. They don't have an insulated mug.
Well,
unfortunately.
Or a beer mug or something, hey.
Yeah. That's just what I need is people drinking and blaming me as well.
Like they don't need an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. So just real quick, just because I want to get this project moving a little bit, but on the CMR Products website, you can download these PDFs, and they have them for all the different scales that they sell the Easy Streets stuff in. And so basically, I just downloaded these, and you can kind of see the template is the same size as the product. So basically, I cut these all out, the templates out, and then I'm gonna do this too. See, I'm trying to record this too, so I'm like doing like too many things at once. Is basically what's going on. So let's start recording on this guy too. Video wide. No, let's go back to there.
Yeah, isn't it great, Ray?
Is Ray making fun of me now? What's Ray saying?
No, Ray's just like me. You know, we're both used to taking the heat, and it's nice to have you taking it.
That's what you get for being technical guys. You know, it's like that's what happens if you end up getting blamed. But hey, Joe Rader, what's going on? He says I need more ice. Oh, I think he's talking to you, Steve. Maybe.
I definitely need more ice.
So what I did is I cut out all those easy streets and I made all of these little thingamajiggies. I think thingamajiggy would be the technical term for it.
Sounds right.
So the next step was kind of figuring out what layout I wanted, and what I was thinking, and you guys can all tell me that this is a really bad idea, but what I'm thinking is the road will start parallel to the track. It'll do a little curve. I'll put an intersection in here, and then I'll have, let's see, this goes straight. I'm trying to remember how I had this. And then this will be like this. I think it was something like that. And then this would just sort of be the little offcut here on the end. Just the idea. So it's got, it's got a little bit more shape to it. And if you go back and look at the thumbnail is actually, they're making fun of me now. Think it's a Ujima flip. And Ray says, "Are you going to put them on the whatchamacallit?" See, exactly. You guys understand what I'm dealing with. Can you guys hear the dog coughing in the background too?
Don't forget the thingamajig too.
The thingamajig and the whatchamacallit. So there's the dog hanging out back on the couch back there.
And the widget.
Gotta have a widget.
I like widgets. Widgets are good. So I figured this out. I sent an image to CMR Products, and I kind of came up with these items. So this is yellow lines in the center, white lines, medium asphalt, and then this is no lines with older asphalt. So they have new asphalt, old asphalt, concrete. They've got all these little junctions and stuff and decals.
Do they have white center lines?
Say that one more time, Steve.
Do they have white center lines?
I don't believe they have white center lines. I know they have single passing and double passing.
Well,
I know they have them without the outside white lines, but I don't believe they have the white lines in the center.
See the hello, Lauren.
Hello, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
That's my dad, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So don't harass me too much while he's here. We got to wait till he leaves.
Well, wouldn't he appreciate my shirt?
Probably. I actually told the story. He was
yellow center lines didn't come into effect until like the late 60s.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there's some good feedback for CMR Products then.
Yeah, anybody that's modeling like 65 and older, the years 1965 and older probably would want white center lines. Now the double yellow was in effect, but the single yellow and broken yellow center lines for passing, that's not what came into effect.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, what's neat about these is it's just printed on the styrene. So, if that's definitely something you wanted, I would just call them up and talk to them. I'm sure they can.
Yeah, they should be able to do it.
They do something. Yeah. Yeah, and Joe's saying the white outside lines didn't show up until the 80s, which they do make them without the white outside lines. So my theory was, and the reason I kind of got the colors that I got was the idea that on this side of the module, this was going to be sort of like the highway side. And then when you cross the tracks, Kiki, are you okay back there? What's going on? So we think that the dog coughs and makes noises and stuff because she wants attention. So whenever we're doing stuff, but I don't know if she's actually coughing on something or if she just wants attention. But anyway, so the idea being is that I was going to put the, sort of the nicer, I mean, this isn't new asphalt, so it's older asphalt. So we're not like in the center of town or anything. We're kind of out of the town. And this is where the circus is going to set up over on this side. So the idea being is that the highway is going to come through, but then once it crosses the tracks, it's just going to be some sort of old asphalt. So like back here will sort of be like the farmer's field that he rents out to the, the farmer's field that he rents out to the circus when it comes into town. And this road isn't like really upkept, so I'll sort of, make a mess out of it. Hey, Chris from Hales Heritage Railway, how you going? The dog is like, what about me? Exactly, Tim. No, she's... You okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? Got to make sure the rail inspector's doing okay. Got to check on the rail inspector. So the other thing that I'm thinking, and this is where I start like overthinking things and like I'm not sure like what to do. So I'm a little bit curious about people's thoughts is, yes, in a lot of cases when roads go up over tracks, it's like a big hump up and over. So theoretically, I could just put the road on this level and then have it like bump up over the tracks. But my other thought is that I've got, I don't know if people have seen the rock molds from, I think they're Woodland Scenics rock molds.
Yeah.
So I've got some rock molds. So last night, I printed out. Oh, and I just broke it. That's okay. I poured some, rock molds. So I'm wondering a little bit if I shouldn't contour this a little bit and like put some rock molds and make it so like the road kind of comes in and goes up over the track so it's not flat, because nothing's flat in nature. But I don't know if I'm...
You haven't been to the Midwest.
Well, yeah, this will most likely be like a Northeast sort of town, so nothing's flat in the Northeast. But yeah, so FMR, Tim, I'm late to the party. What size and gauge are you going for heat? So this is a T-Trak module, so it's a Kato Unitrack track. So its end scale is what it'll be, so 1/160th. So these, the roads and stuff theoretically are 1/160th scale. So, yeah, Chris, it worked a little better with Tim and then you and then me. I'm sure there's probably somebody streaming anyway, but, it is what it is. Hey, John, welcome. So I guess the question is, do I make it flat or do I not make it flat? And that's what I just, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. If I knew what I wanted,
how do you store modules, Keith?
Right now on the floor underneath, but once the circus stuff gets set up on here, I'm not going to be able to store it on the floor anymore.
Unless it's removable.
Unless it's removable. And I have thought about getting like magnets and using magnets so that everything can be pulled off and put back down.
Yep.
And let's see who John says maybe you could achieve some textures with powders. And I definitely plan on weathering this. I mean, these are all kind of they're all printed differently, so they're all, you know, slightly different colors and stuff. So I'll definitely need to blend the seams in. But I guess it's really just kind of like what should I do going over the hump?
You could raise it up as it's making that corner there to go over. I mean, you're only talking about raising it up, what, a quarter of an inch?
Yeah, but in end scale, that's, you know, what somebody smarter than me, what's a quarter of an inch in end scale? It's like 3 or 4 feet, I think, right? So yeah. It's kind of so I could just, like right now, I'm just, I could just kind of bend it, over and cut it around the tracks, obviously.
You just, the one thing you don't want to do with a hump over a rail is have it too crisp, all right? Because if you do, trucks would high center.
Right, and we've all seen the video. Well, I don't know if we've all seen it, but there was that truck recently that got hit by the train because it got high-sided. So, yeah, Daniel's saying I would raise the road gradually from further back. It'll make it more interesting than the road being flat, and that's kind of where I'm thinking as well. Keith, I love wooden bridges, so you can get it up over the track. I thought about doing elevation stuff, but for this T-Trak module, I'm thinking I want to keep things more, more grounded or whatever, more, especially the road stuff. Just because I don't want to block the, I don't want to block the stuff that's going to be back here, which is going to be the main focus of this module. And I guess the other thing too is like, do I curve this like this and then make this more straight like that? Or do I keep it curved like this, have it go off to the side so I get more room over here? The only downside of doing this is that then you get this sort of weird, in reality, roads don't always cross railroad tracks at an angle. But
if you bring the highway up, all right, to near the same elevation as the tracks and the crossing, you're not going to have that weird pitch you're thinking of.
Right. No, that's true. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I've got some Sculptamold down there, and what I'm thinking of doing is drawing out where this is and then taking some Sculptamold and sort of making a road, making an elevated surface to then put the road on. Because this is flexible, if the Sculptamold's a little bit bendy or whatever, the road then will have some texture also. So I'm tempted to do something like that.
You can have a couple in the foreground towards the camera. You could have the road going through a cut.
And that's what I was thinking a little bit with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Is to have it, to do a whole.
Because even that cut, could take away some of the viewing of the trains going by as well, which actually adds interest.
Well, and on my other module that I did, that's why I put some trees in the foreground. And the reason I put the trees in the foreground was so that the train would have to go behind the tree.
Right.
So Dwight Curley, I think this comment's pretty funny because my girlfriend tells me that all the time. She's always like, "Why are you talking so loud? You're getting too excited. Talk quieter." But, whatever.
Just
Whatever. Be yourself.
Let's see. Pirates. Hey, Pirates, how you doing? Pirates says, I would leave it like you have it now. Leave it meaning leave it right on the wood surface? Or are you talking about what we were talking about before with the road over here? Make between the track and the road a ditch. Well, and that's the other reason I was thinking of raising it up, is then I could have the water drainage. Because in real life, on the sides of the tracks, there would be areas for the water to drain. And if the road is lower than where the tracks are and it's not raised up a little bit, it means then the water would basically be running over the road, which I don't think anybody wants. I made these last night, hoping that they would dry by this morning, but they're still pretty wet.
Yeah.
So they definitely still need to dry more. This is I made these with plaster of Paris.
Okay. Yeah, it takes to harden up.
And of course, what I completely forgot to do that would have been so smart is to just put a drop of brown paint or something in the mix. But I did this at like 11 o'clock last night and I totally forgot. Daniel Banks, I like the road crossing the track at an angle. Things shouldn't be so parallel to the layout edge. And that's what I'm thinking too, is I think I'll bring this down a little bit so that this is...
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Nothing's parallel. But yeah, so, what I like about this is that I can kind of visualize it and see it, and it's kind of cool that it gives me a little bit of a place to start with the road. I'm not, painting it from scratch.
I didn't know those were styrene. I figured it was just paper.
No, they actually do it in styrene. So they do have a little bit of rigidity to them, but not an extreme amount. So they're kind of neat. Hey, John from Schuylkill River Valley, saying hello to everybody.
Now, how would you do your grade crossing?
Carefully. Explain a little bit more what you're asking. I'm not sure the
road's crossing the tracks. All right.
Yes.
How are you going to do that? Just cut slits for the flanges and rail.
Yeah. Yep. I'll probably just cut this, and I'll have it come up to the outside edge of the track. I probably won't drop a piece of this in the center though. Or maybe I will drop a piece of it in the center and then weather it a lot. One or the other, or depending on how it ends up, I could drop a piece of this in the center.
In modern day grade crossings are more steel.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm used to where I grew up, the area, it was just like asphalt or whatever, just right over it. Daniel Banks, I use craft foam for roads when I need asphalt, but there is a peel. Yeah, it's a little bit of a catch-22. Like, I love that it's painted and it's kind of done and all I have to do is weather it. But like, if I wanted this to like curve a little bit, it doesn't really curve a little bit. But I like the idea of it. I like the idea of this a lot, and I really wanted to give it a try, and see how it goes. But right now I'm just trying to get these things out without destroying them.
See if you could leave a little more gap between them, where you got room for telephone poles.
Gaps between
the track and the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to try and pull it down a little bit and square it off. I just realized I'm like making hand gestures over there, and I've got the wrong camera up. At least it looks like rubber. Oh, I've seen them using rubber at crossings now too. Well, that'd be interesting. I guess they do have that really hard rubber.
Yeah, that high density stuff.
Yeah.
It would, especially up north, it allows for the contraction expansion. Because
and that's where we are. We're all, Northeast US. So we've got, every, what are those things called? Seasons. We've got all the seasons. So
I grew up with the seasons.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't live in the seasons anymore.
Come on. I couldn't imagine not having the seasons. So
I can.
Hey, Leslie, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, Leslie.
Yeah, I'm very happy with seasons. The girlfriend isn't a big fan of winter, but I don't know. I like it, right? I mean, nothing's the same. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's interesting. So let's do this camera. There is a slight color difference between the two, and I think it's because this piece is a smaller piece. So I think it's actually dried more, and I think this is a little more yellow or tan or whatever it is because I think it's still got a bunch of water.
Moisture in it.
Water in it. So let's see. Let's find
I ordered a 10-pound bag of Hydrocal this morning.
Oh, did you?
And
I've never tried Hydrocal. I just
neither have I, so it'll be
Oh.
it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I've got, a big bucket of this that I got from the paint shop down the street.
That was what I ordered.
And then I've got and then of course I've got the bags of Sculptamold.
I got some. I was back down at my Gulf Coast model trains again this morning.
And I get, the advantage of Hydrocal is that, it's going to be smoother, is my understanding, right? I mean, isn't Hydrocal basically the same thing? It just sort of flows a little better.
It's still a plaster. Well, they just mix different stuff in with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't used it before.
Yeah, Daniel, I'll definitely do some washes over it. I just wish I would have. I just wish I would have thrown a little paint in just as a little bit of base layer to not have that white showing through. But yeah, I'll just Yeah, Leslie, warm it up after a day's rail fanning. Hey, Leslie, why don't you come up here and join us? Is the link posted in a while? Let's see. Leslie, come tell us about your rail fanning.
Yeah, it was just a little while ago, right before
It's there now.
Yeah,
you just posted it.
So my one of my problems now, of course, is
Have fun.
who's leaving?
Bernard.
Oh, Bernard.
Tractor just
Dang, Tractor showed up. I don't generally have tractors that pull up to my building. At least not that I have to go deal with, at least.
From the distribution industry would call a truck a tractor too. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. That's true. So one thing I actually learned the other day, or not the other day, last night actually, is I was watching a woodworking show, and the guy said that he uses colored pencils instead of black pencils so that it shows up on stuff. And I realized that, like with these black things, that I'd need to pull out my colored pencil. So I'm going to try the colored pencil trick. What I had done previously, and Ron Marsh actually mentioned it in one of his videos as well, is I used a red Sharpie. And the problem with the red Sharpie is that every time it gets wet, the Sharpie bleeds back up through your ground covering.
Ron from Ron's Trains and Things mentioned that in one of his recent.
Yeah, he just mentioned it, and my December 2019 Christmas layout, I had that problem. Every time I would wet the ground cover, the red
water
that I use, alcohol.
Yeah,
rubbing alcohol.
The IPA that brings it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me. You know what I need too? I should probably. Let's see.
And I saw Larry Puckett's recent video from last night. He was using a red Sharpie, marking out on his cork and stuff, and I just looked at that saying, "Uh-oh."
Oops.
Well, there's a reason Larry's the DCC guy. I think it's interesting that Larry's rebranding his channel. He went from just being the DCC guy to now it's like the DCC guy in model railroading or something. I don't remember the whole thing, but Les.
Hi.
So where were you rail fanning that you got so cold?
Relatively locally, there's a place called 7 Tunnel Junction. It's against the estuary of the River Severn, which sort of divides England and Wales. So it's a wide estuary, and there was a cold wind coming off it. But it's on the main line from South Wales to London.
So it's called Seven Bridges, not because there are 7 bridges, but because
No,
the river is called
the name
Seven.
of the river is the
That's-
Severn, Severn.
Ah, gotcha.
And it's crossed now by a tunnel. Well, it has been for 140 years. There's a tunnel under the river 4 miles. But at the moment, it's closed. So there were diversions and, yeah, just seeing what happened. And got cold in the meantime.
Yeah, it was so nice last week, or even earlier this week, and now it is so cold here. And I just the weather's just been all over the place. It's really, really cold. Digger says Bristol Channel in Brunel Country.
Yeah.
Aren't you the one who just said you liked the seasons?
Yes, he was.
No,
I like the 4 seasons. I don't like when there are like 15 seasons because it gets warm and then it gets cold and then it gets warm and then it gets cold. So I want it to be one season or the other.
well, I'm suffering through 81 degree sunny day.
Oh,
Yeah, see, and it was like 75 yesterday and today, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, and now it's like 54 or something.
Yeah, 2 days ago it was a tad windy here and rainy.
So I'm just
Yeah.
taping this down just so that when I get it in the place I want it, I can mark it without it moving 16 times. So what do people think of that? Can you see that? How it kind of...
I like it.
It comes off at like a really steep angle. So it'll be like a... You know, it would be a very sort of long cut along here.
That's fine.
That's fine. Looks good.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to be angled in towards the tracks right at the grade crossing. I mean, it makes sense, the design.
And what I kind of like about this too is what I'll do is I'll end this here. Let's move this. This here I'll just cut right there, and then I'll use this right on the other side of the track so that I don't have to blend the 2 road sections together. Because you know how when you cross the tracks, sometimes you cross into different counties?
Yep.
So I'll pretend that the other side of the tracks is the county that just doesn't take care of their roads.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
different age of the pavement.
Yep. Yep. Let me keep taping this down. So, Les, did you catch anything interesting?
Nah, a lot of the same. Usual stuff. I'll let the video get put up at the weekend and you'll see.
Nice. Are people saying hey to Jack Jack? Oh, hey Jack. How you doing? Andy Ambrose. Hey, Andy. In England, the seasons don't seem to make that much difference anymore. Yeah, it's definitely changing. Hey, Fred Wild.
I've been
Digger says it's windy and raining. Yeah, it's raining here too. It's
I've been to England in June. I've been to England in December, and you know what? Couldn't tell the difference. It's cold and rainy both times of the year.
always cold and rainy, right?
No, we have summer.
What day of the year is that?
Ah, well, the way things are at the moment, sometimes we have summer in February and March.
Ah,
Well, that's what was weird a couple of days ago is like it's November. Usually it's cold in November, and we were having these like short and t-shirt weather days, and that was pretty wild.
enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What amuses me is you guys are so far south. I was in the frozen north.
Yeah. Well,
At least we don't get New York winters.
Yeah, I'm down in Florida, so I'm suffering through it.
suffering.
Suffering.
Hey, I did that time. I grew up in Illinois and Iowa, so
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota.
Yeah. We used to go to Minnesota for a good time.
Yeah, Minnesota's a good one. Fred Wild, I learned the other day that I'm further north than Sparky is. Where's I'm trying to remember where Fred is. I thought Fred was in the U.S. Jack's saying yesterday it was 80.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Dan from Grand Valley Layout. It's 8 here. I think he's saying it's 8. It's 8 p.m. there. Wait a second. South Dakota. So you're not even in North Dakota. You're saying that South Dakota is north. Oh, because Sparky's near Toronto, and how that kind of drops down into.
Yeah, I think it's nearer Detroit.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, that bit of Canada that drops down.
Andy's saying it's 8 degrees. Like us Americans have any idea what 8 degrees is.
It's in the 40s.
Don't show off, Steve.
8 degrees, just add 32.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that at 8 degrees, but when you get to 50 degrees, you can't just add 32. That doesn't work anymore. Yeah, well, you can. It's just wrong. What's going on, Frank?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing good. Did you get your throttle back? Are you back in action?
No. Nope. I tore apart my big boy this morning because I hated those yellow lights, and I was able to. Oh, the front pilot was a nightmare, but I was able to change them out for a soft white.
The big boy. Oh, because they're LED and they're just really too yellow. Is that what's happening?
They were really, really yellow.
Huh. Whose big boy was it?
Athens. They were yellow like these number boards here. I'm trying to get it in this view here. Where the hell's the camera?
Oh, yeah.
But now they
Jack thinks Sparky is an hour from Detroit. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, from New York City, I could get to Sparky in like 2.5 hours, have lunch with him, and come back. Toronto's close. Toronto's close to the U.S. It's not that far.
Yeah, isn't that close to Buffalo?
See the difference in the headlight?
Toronto's like on northwest shore of Lake Ontario.
Toronto's on the north, I believe so.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton is at the western tip.
Yeah.
And then around the southeast from there would be Niagara.
Yep.
Did you get your cars, Heath?
Did I get my cars? No. Did you give him the address? Or did you give him? Or did you tell him? Because he hasn't asked for my address yet.
You got to send him your address. I did tell him, and he said that was most generous. He said, "Oh, Frank, that's most generous of you." So
okay.
Yeah, you gotta give me address.
Okay, I'll take a note with my I voted pen. DDRR. So what we're talking about is DIY and Digital Railroad had a contest. And Frank won, and he was very generous that he basically told him to just ship the prizes to me because they were N scale and he's HO scale. So, Frank, you seem to have frozen. Are you still there, or are you actually frozen? I think I may be jittery as well, I think.
Frank's froze. There he is.
He's back.
Frank, did you freeze?
I would have charged Heath double.
Yeah.
Heck with that triple.
I was going to say, I would have charged Heath double, too. John, Schuylkill River Valley, see you later. Toronto is an hour and a half from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah. You spend an hour driving to Hamilton, and then it's downhill from there.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually closer back towards the east, right? Isn't Toronto to the east of Niagara Falls, or is it to the west of Niagara Falls? I don't know.
It's
I am
northeast.
terrible with geography.
Yeah, northeast.
Oh, John says he's not leaving yet, so anybody that said goodbye to John needs to retract it.
Yeah, he was saying goodbye to somebody else.
Frank. Oh, Frank's gone. Well, Frank, if you come back, Jack wants to know if it has class lights on that big boy. Enjoy lunch, Joe. We'll see you in a little bit. So we got at least 2 more spots if anybody wants to come join the party. You don't have to come join the party, but if you want to join the party.
Is this one of your side modules, Heath?
So this module is the module that's planned to go the opposite side of my other scenic module.
Okay.
So I've got, the module that I've already done is kind of the town. And the idea is that all the town people will get on the little excursion train at the station, go around to the other side of the layout, hang out at the circus for the day, and then train will take them back to the train. Yeah. So this is kind of the highway. Les, you missed it. Now you're making me explain it again.
Sorry.
Don't be.
So this is basically the highway on the sort of town side of the tracks, and then it's going to go up over the tracks to kind of like a farmer's field type area where the circus will then come and set up. So you can either take the train over or you can just drive over, and I'll put like a little parking lot or something, probably over here or maybe over here, but probably over here. So yeah, it's nowhere near big enough for the dream, but it's
I drove by the Ringling Museum this morning.
Sorry about that. You dropped by this morning, the Ringling Museum?
Drove by it, yeah. It's in Sarasota. I got to drive right by it to get to the hobby shop.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I've never been there. I really want to go. You should. They have some trains there. You should go take some pictures of the trains that are there.
I might do that. I was all excited to go out and rail fan the Tropicana train. All right.
Yeah.
It runs from
the juice train.
Yeah, the juice train. Except they don't do the juice train anymore.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. That's for sure.
They still send cars, but it's not a full train.
Jerry caught a train with juice cars the other day, which was kind of cool to see.
But it's never a full train anymore. Yeah.
No, it was only like 3 cars or something, and then that was exactly my question. Is I said, "Is that the juice train?"
I'm sure I've seen videos from a year or so back, and there were many more cars than that.
I think they quit it in 2015.
All right.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Are they trucking it now, or is it just there's just not as much?
The train.
Yeah. So Andy asked an interesting question. First Kieran says hello to the train inspector. Yes. Train inspector had to bring me her toy so I can take a look at it. Is this NDH or HO? As all of your circus stuff is HO, isn't it? Andy, I have the Walthers circus trains in O scale, but then Micro Trains made a lot of N scale stuff in circus stuff, and I have the majority of the Micro Trains N scale stuff. So I have both HO scale and N scale circus stuff, and I actually also have G scale circus stuff, but for maybe obvious reasons, that's not coming out. Hey, John, we want to see that blue comment again. Everyone's waiting for it. I'm assuming that's what you're working on, John. Fred, it still goes by train, just not all one train cars in a normal freight. Yeah. Did you distal signals show on the juice train? Did you? Fred, you'll have to type that again. I'm not sure what that means. John, some of the Tropicana cars are loaded right near my house. I guess it's just not a dedicated. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a dedicated train. At least the one we saw that went by Jerry's place.
Then John's got to be somewhere down here by me, huh?
I don't know. I don't think John's in Jupiter, Florida, but for some reason I feel like he's near Jupiter, Florida.
Well, I'm not in Jupiter either. I'm up in Riverview, but
yeah, I don't know where any of that is.
Well, I'm on the east bay of Tampa Bay.
Florida's like another country to me. So I guess the real question is going to be is whether I'm going to be able to actually see this. Which I'm hoping with this sort of lighter blue color I can. Although it looks like what I'm doing. Oh, no, look at that. Can you see that in the camera? No.
No.
It's actually coming out pretty well.
See the top line.
Yeah.
Question for you, just to put the spanner among the in the works. The rise from your street up to the grade crossing. Would a car at that scale get up there?
So, Les, you're late again.
But I've got all the right
So
questions.
for Les, who couldn't show up on time when we discussed this earlier for 20 minutes, we'll go through this again. No. My dad's asking why not use white. I only have China markers in white, and I don't want to use the wax China marker. So this was, I probably have yellow. I could probably use yellow. That might make a little more sense.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Manny.
I don't know why I'm using blue. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Manny.
Hi, Anthony.
Okay, so Les, to answer your question,
Summarize.
I'm just grabbing a different color. We'll try this one. This is like I can read this without my glasses on.
Car, you can grab air going over.
That's hilarious that you say that.
I've done
so, Les, I'll get back to your question in a second. When I was a kid, we videotaped. So some friends and I don't know what it was for. It's for a school project. And we videotaped it where we drove towards the train tracks, and then we recorded it from the back seat, so like you could see us coming to the train tracks, and then we cut to a Matchbox car pretending to jump over the train tracks, and then we cut back to all of us in the car going on the other side of it as if we just landed. So that was actually a video I made as a kid. So Les, the reason I'm marking stuff out right now is that what we talked about doing was using some rock molds and stuff to make the road sort of go through a cut a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to raise up the road so that one, this isn't as steep. But for two as well, so that when the water runs off the tracks, the water doesn't then run over the road. We want to have a little bit of a ditch between the tracks and the road to collect the water. So
that's good.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, if you're not working, why don't you come visit? Anyone that hasn't hit the thumbs up, feel free to hit the thumbs up. We got 2416. Thank you, Schuylkill River Valley. I feel like every time I do a live stream, I have less and less people watching.
Hey, I did a live stream and nobody showed.
Well, especially now, there's a lot of live streams going on. There's a lot of things happening, so it kind of is what it is. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't wait for me.
I think everybody needs to get some Blame Heath T-shirts, and then
Yeah.
we all get on his live stream at the same time.
I agree. www.blameheath.com. Yeah, I've always sort of been into the IT side of things a little bit, and just recently I did things like if you want to find my most recent video, or actually my most recent live stream, and I actually I should have updated it for this, but if you went to like now.humancityjunction.com, it would forward to my latest live stream. And then like if you want to see my videos, you can go to vid@humancityjunction.com. And if you want to to go to my merch page, you just go to merch.humanjunction.com. And I don't know, I was just sort of,
I'm lucky to be able to turn the computer on.
honestly, some days I'm lucky to just be able to turn that on as well. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sometimes work gets in the way of live streams. Fred, I don't why do people let work get in the way? I don't understand that.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
Am I on? Am I here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sure you wanna be here?
Fortunately. I love that you set the trains up in the background anytime you get on a live stream during work.
I set them there when I opened my classroom in August, debating whether to set them up or wait until I actually have students, because everything is still completely online. And now the scary part is we have not had students in this building except for students with special needs that require one-on-one education things. I mean, I don't know how familiar people are with that, but we've just had an outbreak of the showstopper at our school.
Oh no.
In other words, among my colleagues.
Mm.
Fortunately, I don't talk to anybody. I'm antisocial, so I should be okay. But
let me understand this. There's a breakout, but you still have to come in.
In the last week, we've got 4 confirmed cases of our staff has it, and probably more to come.
So why are you there?
Because state says I have to come into the building to teach. They won't let us teach from home. It's a political thing. I mean, I don't want to talk politics, but basically,
No.
those darn lazy teachers need to get their butts out of bed and go to work. No, I'm going to stay and do my press conferences from home. And so they make us come to the buildings to teach.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I could teach better and with a lot more fun with my home setup than I could with the crap they give us to teach online.
I know, isn't that, I mean, that's what's sort of a shame of all of it is that, now that said, not every teacher could.
No, and that's why, to me, it should be optional. If it's easier for the teacher to come in and do it here, where they've got access to a lot of their stuff, fine. For me, it would be easier to do from home. I could do multi-screen teaching with all my cameras and everything and really set up some cool stuff for my students. We're here. I have a base computer. They also gave us a Chromebook. And basically we use one to teach with and one to keep an eye on stuff. And then we've got the webcam with this computer. And that's
so
what we got.
Instead of giving you one computer with 2 monitors, they give you 2 Chromebooks.
Well, I have one computer and one Chromebook. Ohio.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. He was asking which state. He is in the same state where the show IP Bio is shot. If anybody knows that TV show, I don't know why, but I just like referencing that every time I think of you and teaching.
Yeah, it was like Cleveland, based on a famous high school in Cleveland called Cleveland East Tech. If anybody remembers the old comic strip, Funky Winkerbean, that was also based on Cleveland East Tech High School.
Funky Winkerbean. I do not think I know Funky Winkerbean.
You're still a kid.
The train inspector is, as you can see, she's what? Luckily, she's got a hard head, so she'll just run into anything and keep going. She could care less. So now I guess I got to get some water and actually do something.
What do you use to adhere your road down with?
You know, I was kind of wondering that. Oh, so, do you mean this road to the then surface? I'll use. They recommend spray 77 or some sort kind of 3M spray adhesive. I try not to spray stuff here in the apartment because my girlfriend will come home and kill me. So I'll probably use contact cement to put it down. What I am wondering a little bit is if the
Hi, Simon.
what's it called? If ACMOD or Simo, is it Simo or Simo? I wonder.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if the Sculptamold's actually going to sort of bond to this enough that it won't just sort of like fall off at some point. Anthony's writing love letters to his admirers.
It's an inside joke.
That's gonna be.
Don't start with love letters, Heath, or I'll bring up that whole flogging and S&M crap you and Sparky got into a while ago.
It actually, I think it started actually on a Grandpa Rails podcast.
Whatever. Hey, guys, I'm open-minded. Whatever makes you guys happy. Flogging, trains, whatever. It's all cool.
Yeah, I try to stick to the Blame Heath stuff and stay away from the flogging, but whatever happens. So, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm going through and sort of filling in the rest of the lines.
For those who don't know, J94, Kieran does not talk. Even on his videos, he will not talk, and he will put up little signs because
yes, that's true.
Voice on the microphone, so he puts up little signs. So anytime I'm online, I do this for Kieran. Just there, it's not an inside joke. He will not talk. I have tried to get him to talk, but
I hate talking online too. I can't stand talking. Oh, looks like Dave's about to make a sign for somebody.
Nope.
Do you draw, Dave? Or are you about to do some
I'm
art stuff?
drawing up what I'm doing for bench work.
Ah, gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna get water, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a mess because that's what I do.
Yeah, you do.
Your girlfriend will come home and blame you.
Uh-huh.
You see, there's a reason I'm doing it on the on this little side table here. It's so that when I get it all messy, it's all my fault. I'm upset, Mike. So I don't know. I guess it helps if I move this to this camera.
In my day, Anthony, it was hi, Mom, Dad, send money.
The dog tears up all of our toys. So the toy that was in one piece 5 minutes ago is now in many pieces. So the fun part of mixing is I never know how much Sculptum will put in.
Kieran, the problem is we don't know the sound of your voice to decide if we would hate it too. You've got to share.
Kieran, your voice can't be any worse than everybody else's.
Can't be worse than Heath's.
I stubbed my toe on the bed. It was definitely Heath's fault. Thanks, Simo. Some people hate the electronic reproduction of their voice. Yeah, I mean, the problem with the electronic reproduction is you don't hear the vibrations in your the bone in your ear, so it sounds completely different.
You hear what other people hear.
Yeah, and that's a real shock, hearing what other people hear.
Okay, so it's
That's why
Friday.
hearing what other people hear was called spying.
Say that again, Anthony?
I said I thought hearing what other people are hearing is called spying.
Oh. Sometimes your dad jokes are so good, Anthony, they go right over our heads.
Well, you're short, so.
Oh, I'm pretty average, I think. I'm like 5'8".
That's short.
That's short.
My wife is 5'8" and thinks she's short, so.
Well, you're 6 something, right?
I'm 6'3".
Yes. About 6'4".
Yeah. I'm short compared to you guys, that's for sure.
6'1".
Oh, you're all tall. Does model railroading attract tall people? Is that what happens?
Well, when I started model railroading, I was about 4 foot, maybe less.
I guess it's good that you got taller.
Yeah, you model railroad long enough, you might grow up too.
Big mate.
J94 is Marceau. Oh, I see what he's saying. Kieran is the French mime artist Marceau.
Yeah.
Ray, you're 6'2". Ray does not look 6'2" in his videos.
Because he's always got the camera pointed down at him.
Yeah.
It's like Roy Smith's videos. He's got the camera looking down at him, and he's sat on a bar stool. Very
Wait,
low
Fred,
down. Yes, he's
6'5"?
6'3".
Are there any model railroaders that are under 6 feet?
5'10".
Simo D says he's 5'6".
I haven't used paints in so long I can't remember where they are. They're over here.
So how much will a bag of that bag you got of Sculptamold, how much will that do?
All of it. No, I have absolutely no idea. I'm just making a little tiny bit, and I'll play with that a little bit, and then
I need to go
we'll see from there.
garage.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I feel like I've sort of made it the consistency of what is that called? Rice pudding, which I feel like might be a decent consistency. I'm realizing that I'm using a way too small. This is just like a little stick thing, and I should be using something a little bigger to stir this because it's difficult to stir. I'm 8.5 by 11. Big Bill is under 6. No, Big Bill's not under 6 feet. I thought Big Bill was like 6'3" or something.
So
I'm not sure.
I got 3 pounds of this stuff.
So this is the bag I have is 3 pounds, and because of the shipping, when I bought it, I actually bought 2 bags. So I actually have 2 bags of it, and I'm not building any mountains or anything, so it's probably going to last me for many years.
You know that E8, E9 of mine that went off the edge?
Yes.
Yes.
So I picked up another one today.
Oh, geez. So it was unrepairable.
Yeah. All the yoke where the dog bones fit in were all busted off. The dog bones themselves. One of the dog bones was busted. One of the trucks was cracked. So, because that carpet out there in my training room, that was the patio. All right. So underneath that thin carpet is concrete.
Oh yeah, it's a hard. Yeah. Simo says he never bangs his head on the roof rafters in his loft. Being short has advantages. Yeah, if you're building in your loft, it definitely probably is advantageous.
Yeah, but Ray, you're shorter than Rick, aren't you?
Oh yeah, Rick Bailey's tall. That's right.
I see.
I remember Rick was saying that he has a hard time getting under his
layout.
He's got this one bridge and he wanted to get under it, and I was like, you just need a rolling stool so you could sit down and scoot your way under.
It's he's too tall for that, I think. I seem to recall Ray saying that he felt small next to Rick.
All right, so if I was smart, I would tape off the tracks. But since I'm not smart, I haven't taped off the tracks yet.
Now you could wad up some paper, Heath, and
yeah, what I did last time that worked pretty well, that I'm not doing just because I don't have any, is I used like foam core.
Yeah.
And the foam core is almost exactly the same height as the
roadbed.
The roadbed. I'm thinking this might be too thin.
Now is it going to stick to that wood base?
It's kind of rough, so I'm hoping, but I don't know. I don't know.
The road will.
This is make it up as you go along modeling. This isn't I know what I'm doing modeling.
If you had any screen, and a staple gun, staple down some screening, give that stuff something to adhere to.
Bite into.
Funny you say that. I was thinking about using what's it called? Like screws or something, and having like the screw head sticking up so that it had something to kind of
that'd work
kind of stick to. I don't know. As with most of my modeling, I'm imagining this is going to be a huge disaster, and then I'll come back and I'll watch some videos or something, and I'll find some better way to do it, and then I'll come back and fix it.
So Anthony, is the crib done yet?
Oh, asking the real questions.
Basically, yes.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, it takes forever to work on, but it was a unique little design, and I am not a woodworker by trade. So when I'm working with wood, especially building a piece of furniture for somebody else, which is rare, but I have, I really take my time, and I have a Maxim. Maybe you've heard it before. Measure 17 times, cut 3 times, and go from there. But yes, I've been staining it and putting the top coats on it. Now I've got to put it back together, and then my daughter decided to change how she wanted it adjustable, so now I have to put in a different system.
I bet you I know something you haven't finished.
Pretty much anything in my life I've never finished, but go ahead.
Yeah. Have you got your light poles in yet that you waited 1.5 years for?
No, that's Christmas time.
His light poles? What's this light pole story? I don't think I've heard this one.
On my layout, my Delmenhorst station, the platforms were not officially finished because there are a series of 8 light posts that had to go in. And just as I was ready to put them in, a company announced, Viessmann, anybody knows Viessmann lights, they released the exact type of lights that are on the Delmenhorst station. So I ordered them 1.5 years ago. And they finally came in about a month ago now, and they're still waiting to come in. But I'm not ready to go crawling under my layout and do that wiring right now. That'll be a Christmas project, a Christmas break project. Because since I've gone
waiting for your back to get a little better, or is it something different?
My back is actually pretty good now. My back has let me know a couple of times it wasn't happy. If you didn't know, I basically was laid up from January through March with a back injury. So I've been really doing a lot of stuff. Building the crib is the first big project I've been working on. But yeah, since I've been back to work, I really need to be in a good state to do wiring. A of that small a scale and really work it out. And work has just been too crazy. I go home and I go on the treadmill, I go on the elliptical at home, and I don't do anything else. I grade digitally, and it takes so long. I go to bed at 10 o'clock, I get up at 4, and I didn't get half done what I wanted to get done, and that's work, not even free time. That's just work. And I know everybody else has jobs and works hard too. For me, it's a little bit of a switch because it takes so much longer to do my work. Teaching digitally is not easier, it's harder.
Oh,
And
really? Interesting.
it's just insane. I mean, normally I can have a stack of papers and read through them real quick. Grading digitally, I'm clicking on the kid, finding the form, and going through each form, and I can't just mark it with a pen. I have to go in with some program and work on it. Where it would take me 2 minutes to grade a test, it takes me 10 to 15 to grade a test.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And then submit it back, and then parents call and blah, blah, blah. It's so much more tedious. This flickering ceiling light will never be fixed. It's going to stay flickering, Simo. I like it. It gives an ambiance.
I think they're waiting for you to fix it.
I assume everybody's waiting for me to fix it. My wife's waiting for me to fix it, but until we find the same thing, because it's either take out the 6 banks I've got and put in 6 new ones, or find the one that's a replacement for the one, and I just can't find the one.
Can't you just replace the, usually it's just the ballast inside that needs to be replaced, not the whole fixture.
System. This is an LED light system, so when it's flickering, it means the light itself is bad, so I have to take the whole thing out and replace it.
Well, that's kind of a bummer.
The thing is, when I'm sitting in the basement, I don't really notice it. It's when I'm on live or other people are on live and they say, "What's that flick?" Oh yeah, it's the light. I don't really. It shows up more on camera than it does in the basement. I know it flickers, but it's worse on camera than in reality.
Gotcha.
Same thing like, do you guys with your trains? If you run them with noise, because all my trains have engine sound. When I run them live, they're not that noisy. But if I run them with all their sounds on camera, people are like, "I can't hear you over the train." So
I tend to like the click, click, clack of the trains without the sound anyway. I don't know. I feel like it's what I grew up with.
But you can always turn the sound down.
Yeah, in the controller, you can go into the setting and turn the CV sounds down. But again, they're not too loud for me running them personally. But there's something about microphones and cameras that can pick up sounds differently, and it just makes it weirder. Hence the flickering light issue, which you don't really see in my basement, but on camera you see it. Just flash rate, blinking, all that stuff with cameras.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I do have a history of not getting projects done. That's things take forever.
I don't think any of us were accusing you of that. I was just
no, I think
we all go through that.
No, I mean you've come on and well, I don't know how many people. Ray, in just a short time, has built this gigantic, beautiful layout he's going and he's working on, but he still works at a rate that's 10 times faster than me. I've had my big table up for 3 or 4 years and haven't done anything other than built the station and built the bus center. And that's it. Everything else is going to come down and something else is going to replace it.
So how does that bus system work?
Well, I have the Fowler car system. And the Fowler car system, and there's also another one that's Magna Rail, which is also really good. And there are
rails.
Pardon?
I've seen the Magna rails.
Yeah, Fowler car. If you really want to go easy and cheap, it's a wire, and then it's a car with a motor and a magnetic ski. It just follows the ski is magnetic and it follows the wire, so you can put the wire in any way you want. In any course you want, and the cars will just go around. But they have upgrades. First of all, you can buy pre-made road that you can embed the wire in. Otherwise, you just embed the wire however you want to embed it. Drill a quick groove with a Dremel in the wood base, or build up a plaster wood road, however you want to do it. But they sell these magnetic motors, and then they have reed sensors. Half of you probably know what those are. Half of you don't. I don't know. And a combination of these motors and reed sensors and then little diodes that you put under your table, the car will pass a reed sensor, which will activate the motor, and it'll cause the car to turn off at a point. So like you have a wire going this way, a wire going this way, and underneath the table, there's a little, basically a magnetic field producing.
Yeah.
And so the car is coming in.
It's either normally open or normally closed.
Yeah, it passes
Is
the
the reed sensor in the car?
Pardon?
Is the reed sensor in the car, or is it connected to the
reed
motor?
sensor is also built into the track or
Yeah,
into your table.
Okay.
The magnet.
You put an additional magnet on the car, but you don't need the magnet. You could just set up that the car will always turn. But if you want to have it like the car will run a route, and then the third time through or fourth time through, it will turn. You put a little magnet, tiny little magnet on the bottom of the car, and you set up the reed sensor. The magnet on the car activates the reed sensor. The reed sensor turns on the motor, and then the car, instead of going straight, turns. So on my system, my buses will run the main route of the road, but every so often I can activate the system, and the buses will turn in and then go and park at the station, sit there for 45 seconds, 2 minutes, and then pull back out and go back out of the bus center onto the main loop of track. You can make it as simple or as complex as you want. There are people that have these 8-lane road intersections going, 2 lanes, all directions, car stops, stoplights, and you can all tie that in together and run it through their read system or have it automatic. Or you can buy an $800 system that runs it all computer-wise. No.
But that sounds a lot more versatile than the magnet rail system.
It is. That's the positive. The magnet rail, magnet rail is great. The startup sets are the same price. A Fowler and a magnet rail, you're going to run $150 to $200 for a starter set. But the magnet rail, you're just going to run nice long loops, and the cars are in continuous motion. With Fowler, you can upgrade and add things that have the cars running real traffic, stopping, cars swerving around other cars, turning off, going into parking areas, backing out of parking areas. So the Fowler has a much more advanced upgrade system.
The magnet rail's probably what, half an inch in depth below the roadway surface. What's the
Yeah, about, is it even half an inch? It's more like quarter of an inch, isn't it?
I don't know. It's fairly thick.
Right. And it's got a chain drive in it, like a bicycle chain drive that runs a magnet.
Right.
The positive of the magnet rail over Fowler is Fowler, you actually have to have the motorized car. With magnet rail, they send you these little metal pins that you can stick on the bottom of any HON scale, and I think they're doing O now, and you just stick it onto the car, and any car,
bicycles, they got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so they just have a couple of motors that run the chain drive that pulls the magnets, and then you can have any car you want. In Fowler right now, the smallest they have are like little Sprinter vans or what have you. That's the smallest they can do. So you can't have a station wagon or a car on your Fowler system that is running because they haven't made the motor small enough. That's supposedly coming in the next year or two. So right now it's vans or trucks are the only ones that will actually move with the Fowler car system.
There's a guy, I think, in Australia that has sailboats on a pond.
Yes.
Operated by magnet rail.
Yeah. Fowler also will do it with boats, but I think the magnet rail system works better. Graham Polston, if anybody knows Lakeside Junction from the UK, he's built a beautiful little bit where it's he and his wife on bikes, because that's where magnet rail started. They started as having bikes running because it's from but that bit with his wife where he and his wife pull out of his house because he actually built his house on his
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah.
Hey, Martin. Welcome. Yes, Manny, this is for my layout.
So it's so beautiful the way he did it. It's just, he's a clever man.
Junction has it too.
Yeah, he does the cars.
Yeah.
But Graham's bit with the bike where it's he and his wife. That is so cute. It's just so beautiful done.
The way they come out of the garage onto the street, round the block, and back into the garage.
Yeah.
Graham's been working on the bus part of it too for a while.
Yeah.
Well, he did his bus as Fowler as opposed to magnet rail. And he's got it going.
Gotcha.
But I just so my Fowler car system works. It just doesn't work the way I originally planned, which was completely automated. But now that I've separated things and went back to the way I originally wired it, it works. It just, I had a set up where my buses would turn automatically rather than me having to turn the system on and off. And that little sensor diode, something's not working with the read sensors, and maybe I just got a bad diode. I don't know, but I've tried to fix it multiple times. I mean, if somebody asked me on my live stream today, I can probably fire it up, although I think the bus needs the battery charge.
I would be remiss not to mention another thing. I got all kinds of stuff today, but one of the things I got. My wife goes, "Oh, really?"
Hey, Joel.
But
Steve, you got to start looking behind you before you start talking.
yeah, I know it. Here it is. It's a smoke generator. All right, if you've seen,
Joe?
yeah, and it's not for a locomotive. This is put in chimneys.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, and if you've seen me do my updates and stuff, you've noticed I have a stockyards and meat packing plant.
Yep.
So this is going in the chimney of the meat packing plant, and I'm going to use bacon liquid.
What? What'd you just say?
I'm going to use bacon smelling liquid for the smoke.
That's too funny. So you'll have food flavored,
Yeah.
or you'll make everyone hungry. You'll have to feed people meals.
The stockyards there have both pigs and cattle, so hey, bacon. Everybody loves bacon.
So Andy Ambrose, yes. As it dries, I'll keep smoothing the top out to make it more, whatever. And I may have to put a slurry coat on top of it or something. But yeah, I'll definitely be smoothing the top of this as it dries. So yeah, if people want, I'll be here for the next 4 hours doing this. You guys could just watch me continue to I have to get off in 2.5 hours so Anthony can go live.
I'm waiting to see the mistakes you make because I got the same bag that I've got to start on here. I need to know what traps to run.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've just watched a bunch of Luke Talon videos, and I'm doing what I think I remember him doing. So,
Hey,
if I do what he did, mine will turn out exactly like his, right?
Yeah,
right.
In theory.
you know how that turns out for you.
Yeah.
Last time I had to do scenic stuff like this, it was screen, plaster of Paris, and it was extremely messy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can, it's. They say the best tool for this stuff is to use your hands, so I'm just kind of working it, and as it dries, I'll be able to smooth the edges and the top a little bit more.
Are you going to embed the road in that while it's still wet?
No, I'll just glue it to the top. I don't want to.
Well, then you better get it real smooth, or you're going to have to use something to level it out.
Yes. Nope. I will definitely be trying to get this fairly smooth. I mean, that said, my understanding is the point is that the styrofoam will, form to a little bit of the undulations. I mean, obviously I can't have like a big rock sticking out or something, but
to the undulations up and down, but not to the lumps.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will keep smoothing this and smoothing this and smoothing this until just that top is completely smooth. And of course, like when you watch a Luke Talon video, you have no idea how long he actually spends doing it because he's always editing the video. So as far as I know, say that again?
It has a studio.
Right. Yeah. So as far as I know, it takes him like 30 seconds to do his roads and to smooth out the sculptamo. But being is that it's already 1 o'clock and I'm still going, Something tells me it's going to take me a little bit longer to get.
Well,
the
we got
topics
till
going.
3:30. So
Right. I'm supposed to answer the phone at 1:30.
that's okay. You can answer. We'll all just listen.
You'll just wait. Yeah.
You can stay on as long as you want, Eve. I just do my show on Fridays, and if people are sad and pathetic enough to come in and join me, then if they want to see something done.
Hey, what are you saying about my audience that's joining me?
Well, you're doing something.
Well, you do something too.
You're building. You're constructing.
You run trains, which is a lot more interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah, and he's running trains we don't normally see.
Right, exactly.
Well, not normally. We don't see.
we don't see, period.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, they're the only trains I see. Where I live here in Toledo, we see a couple of freight trains. That's it. Don't see anything else.
See, I grew up on the Burlington racetrack, and which is the western suburbs of Chicago. It's a 3-rail main line between downtown Chicago and Aurora, about 50 miles, something like that. And you want to talk about growing up in an area to get excited about railroading. I'd walk the 5 blocks down to the train station, sit there for hours, because you always had freights coming through. You had all the commuter trains in and out of Chicago. You had the Zephyrs going through. I mean, it was always just one after another.
Yeah.
Great.
No, we have an Amtrak that comes through Toledo twice. One scheduled in the morning, one scheduled in the evening, and it either might be 2 hours early or 6 hours late. I could not even go out and try to rail span or train spot because you don't know when it's going to come in. There's a time it's supposed to come in, but you can get to the station. Oh yeah, the Amtrak arrived an hour ago and left, and it's running late. It'll be here 6 hours from now.
We lived
that's so weird to me because I'm on the Northeast Quarter line, and those trains are, on the nose. Well, hey, Container Man.
That's the only part of the country that's on the nose.
No trains running today, Container Man. I'm just building some roads.
My son, after a few trips to Germany with my students and using trains and running the train system, he and a couple of his friends wanted to go to a concert in Chicago because Chicago is about a 4.5-hour car drive from us.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to drive their cars and try to park downtown, whatever. And they said, well, let's take the train. And they felt very comfortable. They went down, bought the tickets, and then the day they were to travel, they showed up there, and there was a delay, of course. My son said it should have taken us 4.5 hours to get to Chicago. It took us 7 hours to get there and 9 hours to get back.
Yeah.
Because of the delays.
Wow.
Well, part of the delays are the freight traffic between Chicago and Toledo, because the freight lines, the freight companies own the track. So in Germany, for example, passenger trains have priority. The freight has to get off on the sidings and let the passenger trains through. From Toledo to Chicago, the passenger trains have to stop and get out of the way and let the freight through.
And see, it's not supposed to be that way. Amtrak's supposed to have the priority.
Well, Amtrak on the Northeast Quarter does. Amtrak owns the Northeast Quarter.
They're supposed to have it all over the country, but they don't. We sent our son.
Because independent companies own sections of track, and they can get priority, and that's the problem. Amtrak doesn't have that. They should, but they don't.
Yeah, we sent our son from Champaign, Illinois, down to Memphis on the city of New Orleans, and coming back, he was 24 hours late due to a pedestrian incident.
Yeah. I think we all know what that means.
Yeah.
In Germany, it either hit a cow or they'll announce that your train is delayed because I don't know why I do a German accent. It's in German, but your train is delayed due to a personal accident. Somebody committed suicide.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll tell you what it was. The train from Bremen to Oldenburg hit a cow. It will be delayed 2 hours.
We always had people getting hit by trains near me because they'd think it. Well, it could have been suicide, but a lot of times they thought it was a commuter train that was going to stop at that station. And it was, I say Amtrak, it wasn't Amtrak back in the day. It was one of the Zephyrs coming through. So
That's crazy. Hey, Crazy Joe.
Germans and German trains, just to tell you the efficiency how it works, Germans start to get mad if the train is 5 minutes late. If there's a 5-minute delay, it comes up on the board. Verspätung 5 Minuten, delayed 5 minutes. And Germans like, it's 5 minutes late.
you go
And
to
Americans,
Japan, it's down to in Japan, it's down to the second.
Yeah, Germans are all uptight, and Americans like, it's only 5 minutes late. What's the, But that's just the difference. Now, lately, German trains have not been so peak fine, as they say, so perfect, because they had a bunch of drivers retire over the last 3 years because their retirement system got changed. And so a lot of guys bailed to get their old retirement system, and they don't have enough drivers for some of the trains because you're trained at a certain type of locomotive you're driving. So the high-speed drivers are a different group than the loco drivers or the freighter drivers and so forth. And a lot of them retired, so all of a sudden they're missing a lot of high-speed operators.
So Container Man, to answer your question really quick, I'm using CMR Products Easy Streets, which are these guys here. So I laid them out, marked where they're going to go, and now I'm just building a little bit of landscaping so that the roads aren't below the tracks, basically. That's the very, very short version. Hey, Chuck. And it looks like some of this I may have waited too long to try and smooth, because now it's I'm having to add quite a bit of water to smooth it down.
Right, Heath, I'm 5 hours ahead of you. I'm
Yes,
hungry.
You're
I
hungry.
need to eat, so I'll see you later.
What are you going to make for us all?
Ha!
Hi, Leslie.
Thanks for coming, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
All right.
The link should pop up in the chat. If it hasn't in a while, I can type it in again. But if someone wants to come join, Roy, are you driving? Come join in. Let's see if I can. Hold on. I don't want to get too much sculptor mold on the computers, or I should say on the mouse. Driving, bad signal. Oh, okay. Well, if anybody else wants to join, come say hello. So what I'm doing now, by the way, is I'm using. I guess I got to put it back. I'm using hot water, and I'm just throwing it on and smoothing it out and just sort of working it.
Just raise this up. So it's up here.
What's Les talking about back there? Oh, not Les. Sorry. What's Steve talking about back there?
He's talking to his wife. What's up, Container Man?
I'm here. I'm just helping my wife with her Christmas village.
No problem. Are there going to be trains integrated into the Christmas village, or is it just?
She won't let me. It's got a train station and this little ceramic train that goes back and forth about 2 inches.
She won't let you. Is she afraid you'll take over the project? Is that why she won't let you?
I'll take my Christmas village up before Christmas.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't need it to be 3 years from now.
Aha, so I'm not the only one who's delayed on projects. Okay.
It sounds like it.
It doesn't have to sit on top of the desk. It'd be more books, honey.
But I don't want books on this because then it'll be too long.
Okay, so I'm thinking that when Luke Towan does this, he makes it look a lot easier than it actually is to get this smooth.
Hey, Train Freak.
Editing.
I definitely think I'm going to have to come back with some sandpaper and possibly do another thinner coat on top to kind of kind of even this out. Hey, Jason, Mr. Train Freak. What's everyone laughing out loud about Steve not finishing his projects before Christmas? Or about this looking easier when you watch it on YouTube than actually trying to do it yourself?
I have one of those that nobody else is allowed to touch. I have one of the large collection of the ceramic Dickensian Charles Dickens Christmas villages I set up on a credenza in the living room for Christmas, and then we have the Christmas tree, and then the train, and those are all my job. Nobody else touches them. And I do get those done.
You know, everyone's got to have their part in it, right?
No, and if I don't do it, everybody's like, "Why aren't you putting up the village?" I don't know, not feeling it this year. And then the next day, I'm putting up the village.
Yeah, of course you are.
But
Yeah,
that's
so
why
I'm definitely gonna have to sand this down. And how does Luke do it? He makes it look so easy.
Because it's what he spent his life doing.
So the Train Freak says, hope everyone's having a better day than I. Hate dealing with tech support who thinks you have no clue what you're talking about and won't listen.
Yeah. It's like
No, the worst part is talking to the tech support when you know more than they do.
I know that, yeah. Andy Ambrose, no, we were wondering what the girlfriend will say when she gets home and you have plaster all over the carpet. So, good news is, no carpet. And I'm probably going to jump off in a second, and I'll probably I'll have time to straighten up and clean up before she gets home anyway. So, but yeah, what I think I'll probably do is I got some sandpaper over here. I'll probably measure out like a little block that's the width of the road, and I'll sand this down, and then I'll probably do another. I'll need to do a little bit more like in around the rocks here to blend the rocks in. And then I'll need to do a little bit more here too to get into the edges. But it like wasn't drying, and then all of a sudden it was like dry. Well, this was an adventure, that's for sure.
Looks like it.
Yeah, you know, learning something new. Train Freak, manufacturer support for something that doesn't work, trying to tell me it's my equipment, but I have a total of 20 of these devices, 19 work and one doesn't. Yeah.
See, that's why I like the area of Germany I model, is because it's flat. I don't have to worry about hills.
Here's what my wife is trying to recreate.
Gee, that looks familiar.
I missed it. What's she creating?
We got a video.
Oh. I love it. Did I see a video of yours with that?
This is the first time I've shown it.
Wait, is this is in your house, or this is you showing a video?
This is me showing a video from last year.
Oh, gotcha.
But it is.
I was going to say, I think I've seen that.
It's actually very cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's
That is
neat.
really cool.
We also have a Santa in a sleigh going around. It must have got added after that video was taken.
Because I think I asked you about the whether the skaters moved or something. I feel like I asked you that question.
Well, maybe you did. Huh.
Oh, it looks like I've frozen.
Why did you freeze?
So you can still hear me, but it looks like I've frozen.
You're blocky.
Yeah. Oh, what's funny is I stopped recording so that I would look better, but it seems like it made things worse. Let's try. Is it this camera? No. Is it? Let's try this camera. No. I'm doing well. This camera usually works. No. Well, it looks like everything locked up on me. That's exciting when that happens.
You when that happens. Wait, I don't have that happen.
All else fails. Give a few hits. Oh, there it is. You see it work. Keep hitting, Dave.
Come on.
I'm trying to get it to come back.
It did.
It doesn't.
Oh, there it went.
There it is. Don't
It's
move.
back, but it's not moving. Well, I guess we're going to end on that note then. Oh, wait. Is it moving?
You've got very serious lag, but it is moving slightly.
I really need to build myself a computer. Can you guys hear the music now?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I guess this is the end for me then, because who knows what's going on with my computer.
It's the end.
The end.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Dave P., Steve, Anthony, Frank, who was here for a second. Who else was here for a second? Les was here for a little bit. Crazy's saying run a magnet over it. I'm not sure. Oh, human broke it again. I did. Something, something said I've had enough. And, of course, now it's working.
Wait, come back,
Anyway.
everybody.
Yeah.
Come back.
It's almost been 2 hours, so I'm gonna call it here, and hopefully I'll get some more of this done at some point, and I can show it off later. And
That's probably the longest
Frank
you've
saying
gone. That's probably the longest you've gone without something going wrong.
it's probably true. What I'm really doing is I did it on purpose. I wanted to have one more chance to hawk my Blame Heath merch. So I figured if I screwed something up at the very end, then I could,
Be appropriate.
then it would be appropriate again to say, hey, Steve bought a shirt.
And a
Where's
mug.
everybody else's shirt? So
You got a coffee
awesome,
mug.
everybody.
See you later, Kieran.
Yes. So everyone show up at Anthony's in 2 hours, approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes. And Container Man says, I bet you the girlfriend has a magnet on the computer. Hopefully the girlfriend's working right now. Yeah, thanks everyone. Really appreciate it. And I meant to bring myself up. How do I bring myself up? There we go. Thanks everyone. Have a great.
He's back on.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll talk to everyone later. Thanks to people that joined me live, and be well. Great weekend and all that other stuff. So thank
You too, Heath.
Bye all.
Bye, all.